What is up, y'all? My name is Nori and welcome back to my channel. So today, before we start this video, because I know y'all see the title, your girl is not sponsored by Book of the Month. I would kill for that opportunity because obviously your girl loves to shop there, but I'm not sponsored. I don't got a code for you guys. I'm just showing you what I got because I love doing collection videos. And since I did move, I don't have all of my books, but I do have a manga collection coming up and I do have a graphic novel collection coming up as well. Because I don't have all of my books, I can't really do collection videos, but I can do these three and I am excited to show you guys what I got. Now, if you did not know, Book of the Month, it is a book subscription box that you get every month. Now, what is exciting about this, it's only $15. With tax, it equals up to like $16.09, but I'm gonna pull out the first one. You're getting a tall hardback for $16, y'all. Like, if only you knew. Look, I have a Sarah J Maas book that is considered adult. It is a hardback, and let me show you. See what it says right there? It says $28. $28 for a book. This is why a lot of people like stay reading YA. If you were super iffy about resubscribing, again, this is your personal choice. Like, I love Book of the Month and I canceled my subscription, but now that I see that things are changing, I restarted my subscription and I caught up on all of my books. So your girl is rambling. Now I'm going to show you all of the Book of the Month collection that I do have. So without further ado, we are going to start this video. Alright, starting with the first book that I did grab. It is The Vanishing Deep by Britt Bennett. Now, this book has been getting a lot of hype and buzz for very good reason. Now, I won't talk about these books in deep. I'll just give you guys a quick synopsis, and if you do want to get them, go to Book of the Month and order them. If not, check them out on Goodreads. So this follows two twins, and once these twins separated and started their life, one of them continues to live as a black woman. The other one lives her life as a white woman, like a white passing woman, which you see, it's like, whoa there. But when these two twins' life kind of clash or mesh together back again, you see where the problems lie. So this is an exploration of identity, race, sexuality, and just trauma from the past. So this book is intense and it is beautiful, and I highly suggest that you pick this up. Next book that we have here, it is Beach Read by Emily Henry, and this was Emily Henry's first adult romance book, because I know she does write YA, but this was her first adult, and I loved it. I gave it a 5 out of 5 stars. Now, this is not like one of those intense romances, and it's not even smutty, y'all. I'll be honest, it's not even smutty. There are some steamy scenes in there where it's like, you can feel the heat, but it doesn't even get there, which is great for some readers. Like, if you don't like smutty scenes, I am telling you, you're gonna love this book. So it follows two authors, and they actually turn out to be rivals in high school. So one of our main characters kind of just is chilling in her dad's house. He passed away. She's got a lot of baggage that she needs to sort out, and she hasn't read a book, and her publisher is like, girl, write a book, please. So her and her neighbor, aka nemesis from college, they decide to trade genres. Now, she writes romance and he writes literary fiction, so they decide to go on these bookish dates so they can get an idea of how to write their genres or their new picked genres. I had a great time reading this, and I suggest that you pick this up if you love romance but you don't like smut. The next book that we have here, it is Star Daughter by Shveta Thakrar, and this is a YA fantasy. Book of the Month started releasing a lot more YA books, which your girl's loving. So there's that as well. So this follows our main character, Shital, and she is literally the daughter of a star. And her mother went up to the sky for some strange reason, and she gets left with her father. But one day her powers activate, and she actually harms her dad, sends him to the hospital, and the only way that she can wake him up is with the power of a star. So she has to go up to the sky to compete to get control of the heavens and the earth, but there's a giant risk. If she fails this trial, she will never be able to come down to earth again. So the stakes are high here, and your girl loves this cover, and I literally cannot wait to pick this book up. So I suggest that you pick this up too. And if you do want to buddy read this, let me know. Your girl is down for it. The next book that we have here, it is How to Walk Away by Catherine Center. And I already read this. I actually got this, you'll see in the back. It's May 2018, so I've been with Book of the Month for a while. And I read this, and it was all right. I think I gave it a 3 out of 5 stars. So it follows our main character, and trigger warnings. She is in a plane crash. Like, it's pretty graphic the way that the author described it, and she loses her ability to walk. So it follows her in the hospital, you know, trying to see if she can walk or not. And you follow her adventure, and you follow her story there, and there might be a little bit of a romance between her physical therapist as well. So if you were interested in reading the story, then go ahead and pick it up. The next book that we have here, it is The Boyfriend Project by Farah Rashan, and this recently just came out this year, so this is a new release, and we love the romance, we love the cover as well. Yes, we do. So this follows our main character, Samaya, and Samaya has recently got catfished and cheated on. So her and her girlfriends, her girl group, decide like no men, no dating whatsoever. But then she goes into this company to develop an app. So she's an app developer, but then she meets the very spicy and sexy Daniel, I believe. Yep, his name is Daniel, and stuff goes down in the company, and then it follows their steamy romance as well. And you know, she says no boys, no dating, but like, does she actually end up dating this guy? I don't know, and I cannot wait to pick this up. If you have read this, let me know, and if you want to buddy read this as well, let me know as well. The next book that we have here, it is literally the September pick for me, and that is Transcendent Kingdom by Yasi. If I did pronounce that wrong, please let me know. But this cover is shiny and it's gorgeous. I think this is definitely one of my favorite covers that they just released. So this book is definitely heavy, so I'm just gonna read the clip right here so you know I don't end up tripping over my words. That Transcendent Kingdom is a deeply moving portrait of a family of immigrants ravaged by depression and addiction and grief. A novel about faith, science, religion, and love. And when I read that in Book of the Month, I was like, gimme, I need this book right now. And if you do want to buddy read this, let me know, because I actually have not started yet, and as you can see, it's a pretty short book. So yeah. Next book that we have here, it is An Absolutely Remarkable Thing by Hank Green. I gave this book a 5 out of 5 stars. I read it, I loved it. I cannot wait to continue on with the series. I don't know if you can see it, but this book right here, that's the second part, so I just gotta read it and continue on with my life. So this follows April May and her friends, and to make things short, April May actually discovers an alien race that are robots, and she named them the Carls. Now there is some weird things going on here because the Carls start trying to communicate with her, and only her, and things get weird. And the reason why a lot of people love this book, it has a lot of topics and subjects about social media, you know, having a social media presence, the way that people are just rude on the internet, which is very relatable if you've been on Twitter. Yes. So this book has a lot of great things and great topics, and it is twisted. Like, I just couldn't believe it. Like, I'm remembering some of the events and I'm just like, I'm gonna pick up the second book, y'all. I am. The next book that we have here, it is Get a Life, Chloe Brown by Talia Hibbert. This was my favorite romance of 2019. Go check out my romance video if you do want to. It's literally on all of my videos playlist. But yes, I love the series so much, and a lot of people have picked it up, and more books in the series have started to come out, and the series is just glorious. It is an epic romance series. Like, if you love romance and you love your steam, yes, absolutely, highly suggest that you pick this up. So this follows Chloe Brown, and Chloe Brown is dealing with some chronic illness, and something happens where she practically almost dies. And then she has figured out, because of her chronic illness, she has kind of stopped doing a lot of things in her life. So she makes a list. As you can see, Get a Life, Chloe Brown. She makes a list of doing these things to further on with her life, which she enlists help from her tenant, which he is right here, Mr. Red, and things get steamy, and it's great. I highly suggest that you pick this up. Like, honestly, it's a 5 out of 5 stars, and if not, it's a 4 out of 5 stars, which I'm not judging you, but for me it was 5 out of 5 stars. The next book that we have here, it is All the Stars and Teeth by Adeline Grace. And I know a lot of people have not read this or don't even talk about this book, but I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars. And I actually really enjoyed it. Like, it was a solid YA fantasy. So if you are looking to get into YA fantasy and you don't really know where to start, I at least suggest that you pick this up. This was super easy to read, plus the action scenes were great. So this follows Amora, and she is a princess who can wield the soul magic. So she can... it's pretty explanatory. She can literally wield soul magic. But in her trial to become queen, this soul magic actually takes a turn for the worse, and she fails. And her kingdom has got her imprisoned because they need to figure out what they're going to do with her, if they're going to sentence her to death or if they're going to give her a second chance. So the plot actually kicks in when somebody rescues her and says, hey, there's a lot of dark stuff going outside of your kingdom and nobody's paying attention. Will you come help me stop all of this? And Amora says, yeah, let's do it. So they sail off into a ship, and there is pirates, there is mermaids, there is dark magic, there is action. It's pretty epic. I really enjoyed this. The next book that we have here, it is mega popular, and that is Red, White, and Royal Blue by Casey McQuiston. And this is a male romance between Alex and Henry. Now, Alex is the son of the female president of the United States of America. Boom. And then we have Henry, who is a prince. So these two absolutely hate each other for some reason. Now, I can't give away the plot or spoiler alert, so just know that these two hate each other. And something happens where there was a publicity stunt where it was a wedding, and these two look like they were fighting, and they destroyed the wedding cake, which cost thousands of dollars. So in order to keep, you know, the look and make sure that, you know, the US and the British people don't hate each other because of the scandal, they start to become forced friends. So this is a hate to friends to lovers, which is the ultimate trope, let's be honest. So yeah, a lot of people have read this, and I feel like this is very polarizing, but I had a good time reading this, and I suggest that you pick this up too. Alright, the next two books I'm going to clash along together, and that is The Kiss Quotient and The Bride Test by Helen Huang. Oh my god. I love this series so much. Another epic romance series, and yeah, there is a lot of representation here. So our main character, I believe her name is Stella, and she is autistic. Now, the way that the book describes it is Asperger's, but that's actually gotten discredited and it's just called high functioning autism. So she's autistic and she wants to get into a relationship, but she has no idea how to. So she enlists a male escort to teach her the ways in bed. And it just follows their romance, which is great. And then it follows one of the cousins' main character, Kai. He's autistic as well, and he is a very successful business owner, but the mother wants him to settle down. So she enlists Esme, the bride from Vietnam, and she's like, hey, I'll bring you to America if you marry my son. And Kai has no idea. So it follows those two in a forced house relationship as well. I absolutely love these two books, and I highly suggest that you pick them up. The next book that we have here, it is The Two Lives of Lydia Bird by Josie Silvers. Now, I recently read this. This is a 2020 release as well, and it was not what I was expecting. So hopefully I will help you out so that you don't expect something totally different like the way I did, and it did affect my rating. So it follows Lydia Bird, and the night of her birthday, her fiance is late to go pick up the best friend, but he ends up in a car accident and dies. So Lydia is crushed and she is grieving, but the medication that she actually takes her into an alternate reality where he has not passed away. So it deals with her grieving and visiting this alternative reality, and this book is very quiet. So I went expecting this like a total like Taylor Jenkins read. Like, you got that steamy, you got that spice, you got that drama, but this book it's not what I totally expected. But if you are looking into a quiet book that talks about grief, I'm telling you, this book is definitely for you. Coming up to the second to last book that we have here, it is Bringing Down the Dupe by Evie Dunmore. Now, the second book just came out through Book of the Month, which you know I'm going to be getting because I really do want to read this series. So this follows Annabelle, and Annabelle is an exceptional woman. Like, she's got a scholarship to a very prestigious university, which historical romance, it does not happen. But her scholarship entitles that she has to get influential men to boost up the rise of women in universities, education, and powerful places. So she enlists the Duke, which he is a grumpy man. Like, he is just, nobody likes him. He's a very unlikable character. So it follows their romance, which I love, because you have a strong female character and then you have a grumpy man. Like, it's a recipe for disaster. I love it. And the last and final book that we're going to be talking about, it is One to Watch by Kate Stayman London. Now, this definitely has polarizing reviews. Some people actually really like it, and some people actually hate it. So this follows B, and B is a plus size main character, and yeah, she is tired of watching reality TV show and have all these perfect bodies, and nobody is plus size, and plus size people deserve love too. So she complains to, I think it was like on social media, and she kind of blows up. So the producers ask her to be like, hey, do you want to be, you know, the Bachelorette in the season? And it follows her reality TV show, the drama, and all of that cool stuff. Now, if you did not know, I love reality TV show. Like, I'm trash for The Bachelor and The Bachelorette, even though we all know it's not good, but I still love to watch it. And if you do want to watch a review about this book, obviously me judging the plus size representation, then let me know. Alright y'all, before this stack kind of falls, thank you so much for watching, and if you do want to see more collection videos, do let me know. I actually really enjoy filming, and if you do want to check out Book of the Month, you should. Honest to God, you should. I love collecting books, but your girl loves to do it at a good price, and this is what's giving me a good price. So yeah, thank you so much for watching my channel, and I will see you next time. Bye.